2, angel can also appear as human or ordinary being. Angel can appear as that white thing you normally see in film that has feathers. Yes, angel can appear like that. Most time when they want to appear like that, they appear as a bright light. Inside that light, voice speaks, voice comforts, speakings proceed. Angel can also appear as human, as a human being, as an ordinary being. So that's why God can use man, God can use spirit being, angel, and God can come himself speaking to you. Are we together? The Bible says in Daniel chapter 8 verse 16 to 7, Daniel chapter 9 verse 21, Daniel had an encounter with angel Gabriel. The Bible says, and the Lord gave Daniel chapter 8 verse 16 to 17 of Daniel, and I heard a man's voice between the bank of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. This is God sending angel Gabriel, archangel Gabriel, to these people, Daniel. The Bible says, and I heard a man's voice between the bank, verse 17, please. The Bible says, and she came near, and he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid. When this kind of thing appear, you'll be afraid. So what God does most of the times, it is rare to see, to experience this kind of thing as believer. It is possible, but it is rare. So what God does is, in building our character, most time he sends man to us, man like you, child of God. So angels have the ability to switch. God can enter into a man, and that man come to you as an angel. One time when we were in school, I read a story. I watched a movie concerning Pastor Adeboye, and one day he was walking on a lonely path, seems confused, looked confused as a young preacher, and I think that time he has just been ordained as the general overseer of the Great Commission, RCCG. And while he was walking on that lonely path, praying and asking God, what's up concerning this assignment you placed in my hand, all of a sudden, sir, a white dog, beautiful dog with lightning on his body. You could see glory on the body of that dog. Went ahead of Pastor Adeboye, led him in the way he should go. And while the dog was in front, God was speaking just the way God spoke to that us in the time of Balaam. God was speaking to Baba as the dog led him on that path. The dog was going, God was speaking to him. And the moment he received direction, the dog disappeared physically. I'm talking of Pastor David. That dog disappeared physically. And then his eyes were open. And he was looking for the dog. And God said, I sent him. Not I sent it. Are we together? Child of God, that's exactly what you're seeing here. Every time such encounter takes place, it is frightening. It is terrifying. You develop goose pimple everywhere. Are we together? I'm talking about angelic visitation. You need that visitation. We need it. You need man to visit you. You need God to visit you. You need reasonable men. You need angels of the Lord to visit you, child of God. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid. This is a godly good fear. The Bible says, and he fell upon my face, and he said unto me, understand, son of man, for at that time the end shall be the end of the vision. The Bible says in verse 18, quickly, in verse 18. Now as he was speaking, you know the story. In chapter 9 verse 21, child of God, the same thing repeated. The same angel Gabriel appeared again. And while I was here speaking in prayer, please mark the word prayer, underline the word prayer. While I was speaking in prayer, you can't host heaven, you can't host angels, you can't host God perpetually if you remove prayer from the equation. The more you fellowship, like I told you at the beginning, the more we get deeper with him in fellowship, the lighter you become in the spirit, the greater, the weightier the glory on you becomes,